Make the ground shake.
Hey guys, wake up. It's the fuck. Alright. I'll wake up first. This is TechFan95 here. It's been a couple of months since I've been playing Smite. Came back and saw the Season 3 changes and thought, what the hell happened? There's a lot of changes, so I thought I'd go ahead and take a little bit of time to get comfortable with all the changes, the new items, the new rotations in the jungle, and everything else that's going on. So now that I feel semi-comfortable with what's happened, I thought I'd go ahead and give you guys an updated Awilix guide. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. If you're not too familiar with Awilix, we'll go ahead and go over her abilities real quick. Her passive allows her to, it's her first strike out of combat and increases the physical power for a short duration. And the physical power is, off the first attack, is 30%. Which is pretty nice. It's a good chunk of power. It lets you go ahead and get a little bit of a first advantage on somebody. Your one ability is Summon Suku, which is your pet, your little mount. That's pretty much all it is. It increases your movement speed by 25%. It does a leap ability that you can leap through walls with, and the damage on that scales from 80 to 280, and a little bit of your physical power. But it does give you a 25% movement speed going forward and backward, but strafing left to right, it's reduced by 50% less faster. So it's really good for going around into the jungle. Gives you that extra 25% movement speed without getting your boots online yet. Makes you a little bit faster, especially since there's not a speed buff anymore. Alright. Two ability is Feather Step. Feather Step is OP as shit. One of my favorite abilities ever. What it does is it's an ability that scales off of your basic attack chain. So the damage of it scales from 60 to 180. The attack progression, it gives a bonus. So off your first attack, it's one times, then 1.5, and then 2 times the damage. And it also applies a root and a cripple when you jump over them. So the best way to do it is to build quite a bit of penetration on Awilix is the best way to go that I've found. Getting Executioner is actually really, really nice because of the stacking penetration with Feather Step, because in order to make Feather Step really effective is to hit twice with your basic attack and then use Feather Step, so that way the damage from Feather Step scales off of your third basic attack, which does the most damage, which is then multiplied by 2. So you do double the damage. Double the damage. Your 3 ability is Moonlight Charge. It's you pretty much throw Suko out and hit people with it, but if you hit them from the side or the back, it does a knock-up. And the knock-up will also tie into your ultimate, which I'll get to in a minute. But the damage from that goes from 90 to 250, plus some of your physical power, of course. Now your ult is one of my favorite ults in the game. And it's so freaking troll, dude. It's like, it's amazing. It's called Gravity Surge. I'm not going to read all that, but pretty much what it does is anybody who's in the air, jumping, any jump abilities, any leap abilities, for example, jumping as in Nice backflip, or a leap ability as in Hades going underground, that works. Scylla using her dogs to get away, her sentries, that counts. Anything, Hu Yi's jump, or people getting knocked up, all that counts with this ult. Pretty much you grab them while they're in the air, and you pull them to you, doing anywhere between 200 to 400 damage, plus some physical power. But it also gives you an attack speed and a physical power buff, and these scale from 30% attack speed to 70% attack speed, and 20 physical power to 60 physical power. So not only does this do a lot of damage by pulling them to you and getting them right up in your face, it gives you that attack speed and physical power buff. That way you can chain up with your Feather Step. You can pretty much two-shot people with this ultimate if you can hit it. It's really hard to hit. There have been many a times where I've been just a little bit too far away and just completely whiffed it. What I really like doing with these is staying in the jungle when there's a team fight going on, and then having somebody try to leave that team fight, and then I pull them through the wall into the jungle and have a little bit of alone time with them. It's great. It's the best. Alright, so that's an overall explanation of the abilities for Awilix. Let's go ahead and go into the items. If you're doing Conquest, my favorite thing to do is to go into Bumba's Mask first, for obvious reasons. If you're jungling, it gives you more damage to the jungle camps and gives you increased gold from it. 10 MP5. It's just, if you're not going Bumba's, then I don't know what you're doing with your life. And I always go Power Pot. Always. And then 2 mana. Wait till about the 35-second mark on your Conquest timer, because the 35-second mark, then you can pop your potion and you'll get to the camp like just before the camp spawns. That way you're not wasting a whole lot of time on it. So we'll go ahead and get rid of that. And then you get 3 health, 2 mana potions. That's your starting build. And that's the way I go. I see a lot of people just going Bumbas and tier 1 boots and grabbing some potions, but I don't think that's very viable, since you have Suku at level 3 is when I get her, which is way before I go back and get my boots. So, I mean, yeah, it's a nice boost on power, but this gives you a whole lot more. Way better. Well, not a whole lot more, but it's better for early. So, on your first back, of course, you're going to pick up your boots for the movement speed. And depending on how everything's going, like if you're doing well, you've been on top of things. Oh, I should probably talk about relics, huh? I think Wrath is actually pretty damn good. It's a lot better than Hand of the Gods were. On Awilix, I get it for her early. I was getting it as a safeguard because I haven't been back for a while, so I was kind of being a little safe with it and getting Wrath because I didn't know how well the clear would be with the new open jungle and the new rotations. I didn't know how much slower or faster it would be for me to clear things. So if you're a little about jungling on anybody, I would recommend getting Wrath. That's probably your safest bet. But you can also wait and not get that at all. You can look at what the team comps are, and if there's like a lot of CC, you get beads. If there's a shit ton of damage that you don't know if you're going to be able to get away from, get Sanctuary. Or you can just be even safer and get Sprint to get the hell out of dodge if you need to. So we'll just go ahead and click on Sprint. But depending on who you're going against and what's going on, if you're doing good in the jungle or not, it's really up to you. Normally, I go Breastplate of Valor first, just for the extra protections and cooldown reduction in mana. I used to go with Mail of Renewal, but freaking Hi-Rez decided to change that item. Good job, thanks, really love you for that, not assholes. So I go Breastplate of Valor, and then Jotun's Wrath. Now, I do these two because of it gives you pretty damn close to max cooldown reduction. And with max cooldown reduction, you can just have that much more fun. And Jotun's Wrath gives you some penetration power, which penetration and power is really what you want on Awilix. She thrives on it. A lot of people, I see them getting like Rage or Deathbringer, and just no, don't do that at all. That's stupid, because 90% of your damage is coming from your Feather Step. That's it. You do 2 attacks and then your Feather Step, and you're a golden boy. Get Executioner, like I was talking about, the stacking penetrations that it does, because each basic attack on an enemy target reduce your target's physical protection by 8% for 3 seconds, stacking up to 4 stacks. So you hit it twice, You got 2 stacks of 16% less protections, and then you do your feather step. Your feather step is increased, doubled, is doubled. The damage of it is doubled. Shit, I just woke up. I'm really sorry. The damage on it is doubled on top of the 16% reduced protections, and so you do a lot more damage. That's how I like to do it. And then after that, you get Titan's Bane, of course, the extra physical power and 33% physical protections. And so this last item is really up to what's going on. Like, if your game's doing really good, like insanely good, I would suggest you go with like maybe Shifter's Shield, and give you a little bit more protections. If you've got a lot of heals on the team, I'd get Beat Stick. If you want to be a little asshole like I am, get Crusher. It gives you more power and protections, or power and penetration, sorry. And it lets you burn the towers and phoenixes, so you can completely split push, avoid a lot of the team fights. Not a lot of them have some presence, but if you can avoid the team fight without needing to be there, and get to a lane, push down the lane, and then take down a tower in 4 hits, do it. Take down a phoenix in 5 hits, do it. That's what wins the game. So if you want to be a split pusher, get Crusher. Sometimes I used to get Frostbound Hammer if people were getting away from me all the time, which that's a good item. They came out with this new item, Stone Cutting Sword. I don't know how I feel about it yet. But it gives you 50 physical power, 10% movement speed, which is nice, and melee attacks decrease enemy protections by 10 and increases your physical protection by 10 for 5 seconds, or for 3 seconds, max of 3 stacks. So that's a total of reducing their protections by 30 and you gaining 30 physical. That could be a great item, but I don't know if it stacks with Executioner yet. I haven't played around with it enough to actually see that. So what I've been going with is the Crusher. And of course, your last relic is always situational. Beads, you can never go wrong with beads. Sprint and beads is what I usually go with. So, why are you messing up? Yeah, that's a, oh, and don't forget to ward. I'm tired of playing games where I don't see junglers warding, and it's pissing me off. You guys need to get your shit together, alright? Tired of losing. There's no need for it. Ward. Ward your shit. Alright, well, that is my updated Awilix guide. It's not 100% accurate, but it's how I play her, and it seems to work out great. So, any other questions, concerns, comments, go ahead and put them down in the description. I just got done getting the beta key for Paladins, so I will be streaming that later today. So, go ahead and keep your eye out. There's the Twitch link in the description with the Twitter and Facebook page. If you want to join in on the fun, come hit us up. Kablooey. Have a good day.